mean, I would say credit to the other team. They came out with some energy. I feel like at halftime, coach was trying to tell us not to allow our energy to dip a little bit, and that's what we did at the start of the second half. But, I mean, the guys rallied together, and we were able to pick it back up.
Was there any particular in-game message from Coach when he kind of made that mass substitution a couple minutes into the half, or is it just
I mean, obviously he was pretty upset by the way we were playing. Both groups, the first group that was in and the second group that came in, they got taken out, all five as well. So, I mean, everyone that was in the game at that time, we can learn and do better.
Can you talk about the defense in the first half, only allowing 16 points?
That's been our focus all year, is playing defense as a team, everybody being the gaps, everybody helping. And that's really what we can be, is a very elite defensive team if we play like that.
Spencer, 4 for 5 from 3. You were feeling it in warm-ups, or is it just for the game?
I mean, I'd like to expand my game to just do whatever helps the team win, but if that requires just, shooting like that, then gladly do it.
Jaiden, what did you guys see from Spencer when he showed up on campus? Did you have an idea that he would kind of bring this type of shooting to the team?
Personally, I did not think he would bring 4 for 5 shooting almost night in and night out to the team, but watching Spencer's reps coming into campus, he would go full speed with everything, like his cuts, coming off shots, all game speed, and I feel like it's really transitioning over for him, so credit to him, hard working in practice.
And then, 2 games ago, Coach made a point of mentioning your effort in practice and how that's starting to translate on the board. Can you just talk about the last few games for you and how your confidence is growing and where you think the ceiling could be for you this year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give myself a ceiling at all. I just want to play as hard as I can, see what happens. The guys in practice and the coaches do a good job of staying on me, competing against me, and just pushing me to get better each and every day. That's my goal. I want to continue to keep playing better.
Anything else for Jaiden or Spencer?
Well, the last question would be, even though you guys won convincingly, you still had more turnovers than they did. So was that a point of contention for the coach?
I feel like this was one of our not as good games as far as turnovers went. That's one of our goals, to keep our turnovers as low as possible. And I definitely expect to see some improvements made in practice and throughout the next coming games.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. One of the big questions for us is going to be, do we have the ability to learn some lessons and still get a win? And if we can do that, there can be a lot of positive takeaways from this game, but certainly some positives in the second half. Not many positives in the second half that I can find yet, and other than the fact that, again, there's some lessons to be learned, and if we learn them, it's going to be a good thing for our team.
Coach, the wholesale change you made early in the second half, can you talk about, were you trying to send a message, or?
Yeah, trying to get some energy. The first 5 out there were making mistakes mentally, physically, effort-wise. I think the first possession they had 2 or 3 offensive rebounds. And so, yes, we were trying to insert a little bit of energy and get guys out there playing hard and intelligently, and that didn't work either.
You got sloppy in the second half. The Hawks went on a 13-3 run, and is that when you decided to take the second unit off?
Well, the second half was sloppy kind of from start to finish, so it wasn't just one time, and it's a good way of describing it. There was some sloppiness in many areas, and it was not just for the starters, it was the bench players and holistically. But at the end of the day, we were able to keep the lead and get out of here with a win. But it was, and being a young team is not an excuse. It's just the reality of the situation. If we don't learn that when you lose your edge, bad things are going to happen, then we'll get bit, later on. So hopefully we can learn in a situation where we win the game.
So, Coach, knowing that this is a HBCU school from back east and you guys are a Power 5 conference, what did you expect the outcome to be? And besides what happened in the second half, is this kind of how you expected this game to turn out?
Yeah, I don't go in with too many expectations normally to the games. I mean, we really do, and I know it's coach talk, but it's also accurate talk as we go in, try and prepare the best we possibly can, and no matter who we play, we're trying to prepare consistently and kind of delivers consistent messages to the team. So I didn't have expectations of what I wanted the score to be or anything like that. I just had expectations of how hard we'd play and how efficient we would be, and some of those expectations that were not met in that second half.
Can you talk about your satisfaction with the way the team played in the first half? Like, did they meet the expectations that you guys laid out?
The first half I would label it good, but not great. I thought our pace offensively was a little bit slow. When they picked up the defensive pressure, I didn't necessarily like the way we reacted to that. I did like the turnovers were limited. I think our guards only had 1 turnover. Our bigs had 5 in the first half. Defensively, we were solid. But again, I would probably label the first half good. Did not reach great by any means. And then the second half didn't quite register on any kind of barometer that I'm measuring.
On a bright note, what do you think of Spencer's shooting? 4 for 5 from 3 today. Just been lights out from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Spencer's been a great lift, and whether he's coming in off the bench or playing 2 minutes or 5 minutes in a row, whatever, when the ball hits his hands, he catches it ready, and it's a spark certainly. And when he's making shots, it's just an instant boost for our team, and a lot of times that helps us on the defensive end with extra energy as well.
Can you talk about Jaiden's continued progression and the confidence you're seeing from him, and what do you think his ceiling could be offensively and then just overall as a player this season?
Well, he's continuing to grow and learn, and playing hard is a skill, and he's playing harder and harder, basically since he's come to Stanford. And as he's learning to be more physical, play a little bit harder, play with more intensity, play in a stance, all those kind of things, good things are going to happen. He's very talented on both ends of the floor. He can guard with his length. He has good instincts on both ends of the floor, and offensively he has great skill set, not only as a scorer but as a passer. So I'm confident really good things are going to happen, but it is going to be tied, maybe not entirely, but largely to his ability to really compete and just embrace the idea that playing hard is going to get him to where he needs to get to.
All right, you got Oscar, 16 points, all in the first half, perfect from the free throw line. So how would you surmise his game?
He was certainly a spark in that first half, scoring the basketball, and his size and skill set was such that we were able to get him some different looks. He was able to get himself a few looks, and so those were all positives. But his point production was able to help us get a lead.
In that first, I think the first half, you had a lot of guys flying around on defense, disruptive. I think there's one particular when Isaac took a charge, the bench was really fired up. Maybe you had some worries for like Sam and some of the guys down at the end. Was that anything in particular about what was happening?
Yeah, I thought the bench was really into it. I thought when Isaac was on the bench, he was into it and observing what was going on the court. And then when he went on the court, there wasn't a transition of figuring it out once you're there. I thought he was engaged and active when he was on the bench. On that specific play, I think the bench really helped Isaac get to the proper spot, so he was able to take the charge. Sam was probably the ringleader, the loudest, and telling him, hey, this is what's going on, get to the proper spot. And so I think that was a charge that the entire team can take a lot of pride in.